With just 298 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Look at Superman taking it nice and easy, a smart move. Like a chess player contemplating the opening move, they're planning several steps ahead.
Spot on. They're mentally mapping each corner, each straight. It's not just about the car, it's about strategy and foresight.
With just 297 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. There's Superman, gently nudging the beast as they head out. The outlap is where you whisper to the car, "Let's dance," before the real party starts.
You got that right. It's a gentle waltz before the full-on rock concert of the race. They're testing the waters, getting a feel for every bend and straight of Oschersleben Moto.
Alright, D-Max has put down a 2:04.696. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that Audi TT Cup.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
There are just over 295 minutes left in this practice session. Hey Hal, you reckon these drivers ever get tired of going round and round during practice?
Well, Rob, repetition is the key. Every lap gives you data, insights, and an edge over the competition.
There's no mucking around for Superman or Euro, straight down to business on this first flyer. They'll be keen to see what times they can clock in early on.
Yeah, and it's not just about speed. It's about rhythm, finding that flow around Oschersleben Moto. Getting into that groove early can set the pace for the whole session.
Joerg Yu posted 3:11.548 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? There's the first flying lap for Mr. Bang, hitting 1:36.789. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
Look at Wayne Pearson go, they're really giving it some jandle now. The first flyer is always a bit of a reconnaissance mission, a mix of caution and raw pace.
You bet, Rob. They're mapping out the track, feeling out the grip levels, and getting a sense of how the car's performing today. It's a crucial lap for building confidence.
Puppy Dog from Hell is on their first practice flying lap. Joe Ogu's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 1:36.729. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
So, for those tuning in and wondering what's the go with these practice sessions, well, it ain't just about flexing their engines. It's about synergy, mate. Getting the driver, the car, and the track to sing in harmony.
Couldn't have put it better. We liken it to rehearsing a dance. Every step, every turn must be practiced until it's second nature on the big stage.
Sunoiler is rolling out for the first sniff of the track. It's all about feeling the car, the tarmac, and getting the mind in the zone.
Absolutely, Rob. The out lap is like the opening chapter of a book. A Euro sets the tone for the whole story. They'll be checking how the car's responding, getting a real feel for the conditions today at Oschersleben Moto.
Megasaurus 55 posted a 1:35.746 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Joe Yu has a best lap time of 1:36.708. With just 287 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Joe Yu crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 1:35.737. They're getting to grips with Oschersleben Moto, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
Megasaurus 55 posted 1:35.510 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Mate, these drivers aren't just burning rubber for the fun of it. They're chasing the ghost, that perfect lap that's always just out of reach.
Absolutely. Back in my racing days, I used to call it chasing the dragon. It's that feeling when you know there's still a little more in the tank, a fraction of a second to be found.
It's all about finding that sweet spot during these sessions. Like tuning a didgeridoo, but way faster.
Haha, and a lot noisier. But you're right, in India, we fine-tune until it feels just right. Every lap here is a step towards perfection.
There's the first flying lap for Keen, hitting 1:34.848. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
Wayne Pearson's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 1:40.204. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
DMAX's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 1:43.133. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
Rob has a best lap time of 1:34.848. Wayne Pearson posted a 1:40.652 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Joe Yu has a best lap time of 1:35.658. It's a bit like looking for water in the outback. These drivers are searching for that sweet rhythm, where everything just clicks.
Spot on. It's that elusive flow state. When everything syncs up, the car, the track, the driver, that's when magic happens.
Now, here's a term some might not be familiar with: roll bar stiffness. Sounds technical, doesn't it?
It does, but in essence, it's about how the car reacts to lateral forces, especially during cornering. Adjusting the roll bar can change how the car behaves mid-corner. A softer setting can be more forgiving, but a stiffer one might give the driver a quicker response, albeit with less margin for error.
With just 279 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Keane posted 1:34.068 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Superman's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 1:35.532. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
Lars is on the outlap, not just warming up the tires, but also warming up their instincts, getting that racer's intuition dialed in.
True that. They're getting the feel of the track, the car, the conditions. It's all about setting the stage for what's to come.
Alright, Wayne Pearson has put down a 1:38.298. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that Audi TT Cup.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
Superman crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 1:34.527. They're getting to grips with Oschersleben Moto, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
Watch as Simon Barnes takes it nice and easy on this outlap. It's not just about warming up the tires, it's about getting into that mental pit lane, tuning into the race mindset.
For sure, Rob. They're calibrating everything at Euro, the brakes, the steering, the throttle response. It's a crucial part of laying down the groundwork for a successful practice session.
It's time to separate the contenders from the pretenders here at Oschersleben Moto, as the drivers reverend up their engines and put their skills to the test in the qualifying session.
Strap in, folks, because we're in for a wild ride.
Simon Barnes is on their outlap.
It's all about finding that balance between staying calm and focused, while also pushing the limits.
A solid qualifying performance by Rob, positioning them in 6th at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the frontrunners. Incredible drive by Jack M team so far, earning them 7th on the grid. However, the competition is fierce. Will they be able to find that extra edge to move up?
You're absolutely right, Rob. Jack M team's current position of 7th reflects their strong qualifying performance. Now, they'll need to strategize and capitalize on this starting position.
A disappointing performance from Eddie G so far in this qualifying session. Finding themselves in 12th position is certainly not what they were aiming for. However, they have the talent and experience to bounce back and salvage a better result.
Absolutely, Rob. Eddie G is facing a challenging situation, but they have the skill and determination to turn things around. It's not over until the checkered flag, and they still have a chance to improve their result.
What an impressive performance from Superman. They are currently leading the pack in this qualification session, showing incredible pace and skill. It's a commanding position for them, and they have set the bar high for their competitors.
Absolutely, Rob. Superman is setting an impressive pace and demonstrating their dominance on the track. Their competitors have a challenging task ahead to match their performance.
Superman has completed their outlap. Currently in 5th, Keen has completed their outlap. It's an impressive showing by Megasaurus 55, currently in 6th. They've showcased their talent, but will they be able to find those crucial extra tenths of a second to climb higher?
Couldn't agree more, Rob. Megasaurus 55 has positioned themselves impressively in 6th. Now, they need to build on this foundation and strive for an even better race result.
There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. A challenging session for Megasaurus 55 so far. They're currently in 11th position, which is not where they wanted to be. But in motorsport, we've seen remarkable comebacks, and they'll be hoping to turn their fortunes around and secure a better result.
I completely agree, Rob. Megasaurus 55 is in a difficult position, but they have the opportunity to analyze their performance so far and make the necessary adjustments. It's all about regrouping and giving their best shot in the remaining time.
A tough outing for Simon Barnes in qualifying today. They currently sit in 11th position, which is far from ideal. However, there's a chance for them to regroup, analyze their data, and make sense. Simon Barnes has completed their first flying lap in 1:40.376. Impressive work from Lars, who has claimed 8th on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing for an even better starting position.
Great analysis, Rob. Lars has shown excellent pace to secure 8th. Now, the focus shifts to whether they can use their track position to their advantage in the race.
Lars has just completed a lap in 1:37.330. Let's see if they can improve on that time further. What a performance from Jack M team. Jack M team has some work to do as that 1:36.566 is only good enough for 7th. Sunoiler has put in a great effort and currently holds 9th. With the session winding down, can they unleash their full potential and improve their starting? I'm thinking Sunoiler could benefit from tweaking their tyre strategy. That last lap at 1:37.538 isn't cutting it for 9th. A switch to a softer compound might give them the edge they need.
Spot on, Rob. A softer tire could provide that extra grip, but they'll have to manage tire wear carefully. It's a risky play, but it might just pay off.
A solid performance from Megasaurus 55 as they currently hold position 2. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of speed if they want to move up the grid.
I completely agree.
Superman has just completed that lap in 1:35.316. Their best lap so far is 1:35.316. Putting them in P2. Will they be able to hold on to that spot? Lars has secured a respectable 8th in the qualifying session. Can they capitalize on this position and use it as a launching pad for a stronger race performance? And there goes Joe Ergu, currently in position 6. They've shown great skill and consistency so far, but with a few minutes left, there's still time to improve their result.
You hit the nail on the head, Rob. Yorgu's current position of 6th is a testament to their skill and determination. Now, they must stay sharp to make the most of this opportunity.
Zhou Ergu has completed their first flying lap in 1:35.977. Impressive display by Megasaurus 55. Currently, Megasaurus 55's really showing what they're made of, landing in second during this nail-biting session.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about precision and nerve in qualifying. Every millisecond can make a difference on the grid. Let's see if they can squeeze out even more speed.
There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. Superman will be happy having put themselves into second in this qualifying session. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. With Zhou Ergu now sitting pretty in fourth, they have got to be feeling good.
True, but in the world of racing, good isn't always good enough. They've got to keep their eye on the prize and aim for perfection on every turn. It may be difficult for them to improve further on that. Sometimes trying too hard makes you slower. They need to drive smooth and smart.
Not the ideal start for Eddie G in this qualifying session. Eddie G has completed their outlap. Lars has positioned themselves well in ninth during qualifying. The challenge now is to assess their competitors and strategize how to move up the order for a better race start. Last latest lap at 1:35.731 isn't cutting the mustard. They're sitting in sixth, which means there's a fair bit of ground to make up.
Yeah, Rob, it's a decent time, but in this game, decent won't get you to the podium. They'll need to dig deeper and find some extra pace.
A strong showing from Richard Rossier as they currently sit in fifth. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep and find that extra burst of speed too. There's a real buzz in the air as Richard Rossier secures fifth.
Right you are, Rob. They've put themselves in a solid spot, but they can't let up now. Staying smooth and focused is key to shaving off those extra fractions.
Disappointing performance from Eddie G in this qualifying session. Currently in 12th position, they'll need to dig deep and find some extra speed to climb up the leaderboard and secure a better starting position for the race. It's been a struggle for Andreas Dittmann in qualifying. As of now, they find themselves in 15th position, which is well below their expectations. Andreas Dittmann has completed their outlap. It's a dominant performance from Rob in this qualification session. They have shown exceptional form and are leading the way. Their confidence is shining through, and they are proving why they are considered one of the best in the business.
You're absolutely right, Rob. Rob Keane has asserted their authority on the track with their commanding performance. The gap between them and the rest of the field is quite significant.
It's an impressive showing by Jack M Team. Jack M Team might need to rethink their setup. That 1:35.960 isn't doing them any favors in 7th. Maybe tweaking the downforce for better grip could shave off a few precious seconds.
I agree, Rob. A bit more downforce on those corners at Oschersleben Moto could make a world of difference. But they'll have to be careful not to sacrifice too much top speed on the straights.
It's been a challenging session for Eddie G. They're currently languishing in 13th position, which is not where they had envisioned themselves. But in motorsport, anything can happen, and with their skill and determination, they might still turn things around. Eddie G's clocking in at 1:38.157 isn't turning heads just yet. They're holding on to 11th, but with time running out, it's now or never.
They've got the skill, Rob, but they need to translate that into lap times. It's time to throw caution to the wind and go all out.
A solid qualifying performance by Lars, positioning them in 6th at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the frontrunners. Zhou Yu has put in a great effort and currently holds 4th. With the session winding down, can they unleash their full potential and improve their starting position? Impressive work from Lars, who has claimed 6th on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing for an even better starting position.
I couldn't agree more, Rob. Lars has done a fantastic job to claim 6th. The challenge now is to convert this opportunity into a strong race result.
Currently in 4th, Zhou Yu has displayed promising speed during the qualifying session. The real test lies in whether they can convert this performance into a higher grid position.
You're absolutely right, Rob. Yu's current position of 4th reflects their strong quality.
Looks like Zhou Yu is making a statement, securing a spot in 5th.
Yep, Rob, but there's always room for improvement. Smooth, consistent laps might just be the key to climbing even higher before this session wraps up.
It hasn't been the best qualifying session for Andreas Dittmann so far. They find themselves in 13th position, which is not where they had hoped to be. However, there's still time left on the clock, and they have the opportunity to make improvements.
Absolutely, Rob. Andreas Dittmann is aware of the current situation, and they'll be looking to make the most of the remaining time. They'll need to analyze their performance, work closely with their team, and find that extra bit of speed to improve their qualifying position.
Incredible drive by Suneuler so far, earning them. With Suneuler clocking a 1:36.189, they've got themselves a mountain to climb, stuck in 8th.
They're not out of the fight yet, Rob, but it's going to take some serious wheel work to make up that gap. The clock's ticking, and they need to make every lap count from here on out.
Zhou Yu has secured a respectable 5th in the qualifying session. Can they capitalize on this position and use it as a launching pad for a stronger race performance?
Absolutely, Rob. Yu has shown great potential to secure 5th. It's now a matter of channeling that momentum into a strong performance during a race.
What a performance from Lars. They currently occupy 3rd on the grid. Can they maintain this strong position? It's a stellar performance from Lars, clinching 3rd.
They're in a great spot, Rob, but in qualifying, complacency can be your worst enemy. They need to keep pushing the limits while staying cool under pressure.
It's been a challenging day for Puppy Dog from Hell in qualifying. They currently sit in 14th position, which is not reflective of their true potential. With the session nearing its end, they'll need to push hard and extract every ounce of performance to improve their result.
I couldn't agree more, Rob. Puppy Dog from Hell is facing a tough challenge, but they are known for their fighting spirit. This qualifying session is a test of their character, and I believe they have what it takes to overcome this setback.
Puppy Dog from Hell has just completed a lap in 1:39.438. Let's see if they can improve on that time further. There's a little bit of wind in the air today here at Oschersleben Moto as we're getting ready to kick things off.
The tension's building now. This is going to be another great race.
Starting from pole position is a dream come true for Rob Keane. The second place on the grid belongs to Superman, a driver with plenty of experience. Starting just behind the front runners in third place is the determined driver, Lars. Megasaurus 55 will begin the race from the fourth spot on the starting grid. Joe Yu will look to make a splash from the fifth position on the starting grid. On the sixth grid slot we have Richard Rosier.
We've not seen the best from Richard Rosier yet.
Starting from the seventh position, Jack M team will need to navigate through the field to challenge for the win. Sunoiler is going to be starting from 8th.
But don't count them out yet. They've got the skills to pay the bills.
Mr. Bang is 9th. Andreas Dittmann is placed in 11th. Eddie G has qualified 12th.
Eddie G has been looking strong all week. Expect big things.
Chris Ilduke has some work to do from 13th on the grid, but they're not out of the race yet.
We've seen great results from him. What has Chris Ilduke got in store for us?
Puppy Dog from Hell may have a bit of work to do starting from 14th. Green flag, mates. Fair dinkum.
This opening stretch, it's like walking on eggshells. Gotta weave and dodge, all while keeping your foot on the gas.
Establishing an early advantage will be crucial to the outcome of this race. The racing is normally closely fought here at Oschersleben Moto. I think we are in for a cracking race. The drivers are jockeying for position. Joe Yu will be looking to get off to a good start and consolidate their position.
You know, sometimes the best strategy is to hold your cards close to your chest. Jorg Yu's sitting right there at 5, just watching the field unfold. There's some intense battling throughout the field as everyone is looking to get off to a good start. I am so excited at the prospects for this race. I can't wait to see the drama unfold. You know, they say, steady as she goes, and that's exactly what Lars is doing. Holding on to 3, maybe they've got a trick or 2 up their sleeve for later. If consistency was an art, Sunoiler would be Picasso today. Just churning out those laps, one after the other. We've certainly seen some of the drivers get it wrong today. Anyone lost can just follow the trail of skid marks. I hear it's the latest form of GPS navigation. Let's hope the other drivers don't follow suit. We might end up with a bumper car race instead of a high-speed competition. At least we'd have something to fall back on if we ever get bored of regular racing. Bumper cars might be the next big thing. Oi, Sunoiler is on Jack M team like a drop bear on an unsuspecting tourist. Drop bear? Had to Google that one. But yeah, here it's like a linebacker on a quarterback sack. Hollywood couldn't script this better. Richard Rosier's shadowing Joe Yu, waiting for the slightest misstep. It's a close race between Joe Yu and Lars in 4th. It's like watching 2 predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce. Look at this. Joe Yu is practically drafting off Lars.
With the gap this small, a Marne curve is going to be a real test. It's like David versus Goliath out there. Joe Yu just slung a stone and gained ground, while Lars is left searching for footing. This is where legends are made. Which driver will rise to the occasion and claim victory?
They say rubbing is racing, but if Megasaurus 55 gets too close, they might end up trading carbon fiber souvenirs instead of positions.
Seems like Jack M team is getting in range of Lars.
They need to keep it on the black stuff. You don't get points for driving over weeds, not in this game.
It's looking good for Jack M team, who has gained places and put some distance between themselves and Lars.
Yes, but they have to keep pushing hard. This race is far from over, and anything can happen. Jack M team needs to stay focused and keep driving with skill and determination.
Oh, this is getting intense. Megasaurus 55 is just behind Superman. It's not going to plan for Megasaurus 55. They are still behind Superman and the gap is increasing. I don't think they have an answer for this right now. Now that's how it's done. Megasaurus 55 rips through the track, while Superman watches the taillights fade. Megasaurus 55's got Superman breathing down their neck so close, you'd think they're trying to steal their lunch money. Remember those school days, mate? Oh wait, hold on a moment, blimey, Rob must have spotted a pub off the track. That's the only reason any self-respecting Aussie would swerve that way. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Superman is proper nipping at Megasaurus 55's heels. Are they thinking of making a lunge? Only time will tell. It's a thrilling pursuit as Puppy Dog from Hell is right behind Eddie G, keeping the pressure on for 11th place.
This is where the mental game comes into play. Who will keep their cool under pressure? Puppy Dog from Hell or Eddie G? It's anyone's race.
It's a tale of two drivers right now, with Puppy Dog from Hell gaining places and Eddie G losing them.
If this were chess, I'd say Puppy Dog from Hell just put Eddie G in check. Brilliant move.
Heartbreak for Puppy Dog from Hell as they slip down the field. You Americans have your drive-thrus. Here, Puppy Dog from Hell's trying to make this a drive past on Eddie G.
Well, let's see if they can supersize that pass, or if they'll just get a side of disappointment. Well, butter my biscuit. Puppy Dog from Hell's hot on Eddie's tail, and not in the way you're thinking. There's some serious wooing going on at Oschersleben Moto today.
The gap between Puppy Dog from Hell and Eddie G is growing. It's now up to 0.8 seconds. Hey, Hal, you've had your fair share of races with little action. How did you handle the situation back in your racing days?
Well, Rob, patience is key in such scenarios. You need to stay focused and be ready to seize any opportunity that comes your way. It's like a game of chess at 200 miles per hour.
Oh, the chase is on. Superman's breathing down the neck of Megasaurus 55.
The mental game is just as important here. Superman must keep their cool while putting pressure on Megasaurus 55.
Sunoiler has the pedal to the metal chasing Lars.
Can they make it past without taking the paint off?
Hold on to your hats. Richard Rossier is gunning for Joe Ergu. Reckon we might see some cheeky moves on the next bend? The gap between Sunoiler and Lars is razor thin as they vie for 7th in this nail-biting braking alert. Well, Chris Ilduke's spinning like my life in 2020. Someone get them a map or a therapist. The action is non-stop as Sunoiler shadows Lars through every twist and turn, determined to claim 7th.
A misjudgment by either driver could result in a close encounter of the tire barrier kind, and that's one handshake they'll want to avoid.
The adrenaline is pumping as Mr. Bang gets within striking distance of Sunoiler in their race for 8th.
If this battle ends in tears, it could be like
Breaking alert, that won't be ideal for Lars.
racing at Oschersleben Moto is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Today, Lars got the lemon.
Whoa there, Mr. Bang is sticking to Lars like glue. You reckon Lars is feeling the pressure? 'Cause I sure would.
If Mr. Bang pushes too hard, they might find themselves exploring the scenic route, and nobody's got time for sightseeing during a race.
Well, I'd raise a toast to that move. Cheers to Mr. Bang for nabbing 8th. Superman appears to be trying to find a way round Megasaurus 55 that could make a move on them in triple.
And they are poised to capitalize on any mistake, but who's going to make that mistake first?
It's an intense battle for position as Mr. Bang tries to outmaneuver Sunoiler. This is edge of your seat racing.
The only thing closer than Mr. Bang to Sunoiler right now is the paint on their cars. Talk about a close encounter.
Wow, Joe Ergu is really pushing hard to catch up to Richard Rossier. There's blood in the water for 4th place.
You know what they say, keep your friends close, and your racing rivals even closer. Looks like Jorg Yu is taking that advice to heart today.
It's not looking good for Joe Ergu. They are still behind Richard Rossier and the gap is increasing. They are gonna need to dig a bit deeper to turn this around. If I had $1 for every time Puppy Dog from Hell closed a gap like this, I'd have enough for a pint at the local. Get ready, Eddie G, the thunder from down under is coming. Joe Ergu could be looking for a way up the inside of Richard Rossier. Well, that's an unexpected descent. Joe Ergu finds themselves repositioned at 6th. Mate, are they packing something extra down under? Joe Ergu's just rocketed into 5th. Puppy Dog from Hell is giving it their all as they chase down Eddie G in P11. Gee whiz, Joe Ergu is breathing down Richard Rossier's neck. Wouldn't want to be in Richard Rossier's rearview mirror right now. It's getting crowded.
You reckon Richard Rossier is sweating bullets yet, Rob? Because I'd be needing a towel by now with Jorg Yu right behind me.
Alright, lads and ladies, it's crunch time. Lars is sniffing around Mr. Bang like a dog with a bone. And it looks like they might just take a bite out of 8th.
Now, that's some driving, y'all. Lars is putting the pressure on Mr. Bang. It's like watching a cat stalk a bird. They're inching closer with every turn.
Things are heating up as Chris Duke closes in on Simon Barnes. The gap between them is down to practically nothing.
Should things go south between Chris Duck and Simon Barnes, we might witness a high-speed game of bumper cars, but trust me, it's way less fun with real race cars.
Chris Duke just blitzed past Simon Barnes like they were standing still.
Well, it's not just about speed, it's about strategy. But right now, Chris Duke's showing a masterclass in both.
I tell you, mate, the tech in these cars would outshine any gizmo you'd find in a Sydney cafe.
As long as it doesn't make my morning coffee, I'm good. But yeah, the tech here is like something out of Silicon Valley.
Every move counts now as Richard Rossier works to reel in Joe Ergu and overtake for P4. You know, Hal, I've always wondered, how do racing drivers stay so cool and collected under such immense pressure?
Well, Rob, it comes down to mental strength and training. Drivers often work with sports psychologists and practice techniques like meditation and visualization to help them stay calm and focused during high-pressure situations.
Alright, hold your horses. Puppy Dog from Hell is really putting the heat on Eddie G. If I were Eddie G, I'd be checking those mirrors non-stop. A great moment for Puppy Dog from Hell, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings. Oh dear, Puppy Dog from Hell has dropped down to 13th.
Definitely. But Puppy Dog from Hell is a skilled driver, and they have what it takes to fight back and regain that position.
Richard Rossier is running 5th. They are trying to catch Joe Ergu. While Jack M Team is not under immediate braking update, looks like that's a mistake from Jack M Team. This could be costly. Hold on to your hats, folks. Richard Rossier is right on the heels of Joe Ergu, and we're in for a wild ride. Mr. Bang wants to close that gap with Jack M Team.
Do they have the speed for a move, and more importantly, do they have the talent?
Mr. Bang's on the back foot here, struggling to keep up with Jack M Team like a dingo after a roadrunner. If racing were a dance, Puppy Dog from Hell would be trying to lead, but Eddie G just keeps cutting in. The dance floor is heating up. Puppy Dog from Hell's falling behind Eddie G at a rate of knots. They're going to need some serious pedal power to close the gap. Oh, this is getting intense. Richard Rossier is just a few car lengths behind Joe Ergu. It's starting to look like we might get a battle between Richard Rossier and Joe Ergu. You know, Rob, these pit stops always amaze me. Just a few seconds, and they change tires, refuel, adjust settings. It's like a well-choreographed dance.
Absolutely, and the precision. One slight misstep, and it could cost the race. It's an art and a testament to the pit crew's relentless training and coordination.
In a race where seconds count, Simon Barnes is counting on less of them between themselves and Chris Iljuk. Much like I'm counting on less seconds until lunchtime.
Sweet mercy, Simon Barnes is lagging like my grandma's old computer. Might be time to reboot, or at least pour some coffee into the gas tank.
Superb driving from Simon Barnes, who with that overtake has gained a position in the race. You know, Andreas Dittmann, if you were any slower, you'd be going backwards. But good on ya for making Eddie G work for it. Eddie G seems to be putting the pressure on Andreas Dittmann.
If you're enjoying the racing, please remember to like and subscribe.
It's a battle of wills out there, each driver trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the other. This is what high-octane racing looks like. Stop the press, Struth. Joe Ergu's having a real dog's breakfast of a moment.
Well, shoot, your Ergu's channeling me trying to park in the city. A complete disaster, but always a show.
Oh, talk about a tango on tarmac. Chris Iljuk is dancing closer and closer to Simon Barnes. You can feel the tension as they approach hotel. Blimey, Chris Iljuk's shifted gears and the results are clear. Cruising up to 14th just like that. The drivers are showing their mettle today. It's a privilege to witness their skill on this challenging track.
The stakes have never been higher. This is a battle of skill and nerves.
That's right. These drivers are really pushing themselves to the limit, and it's incredible to see the level of focus and determination they're bringing to the track.
Absolutely. It takes a lot of courage to compete at this level, and these drivers have it in spades. Let's hope they can keep it up and give us a race to remember.
Like a scene from a thriller, Simon Barnes is on Chris Il-Duke's tail, hungry for that spot.
On this asphalt battlefield, Simon Barnes's determination is the weapon, and Chris Il-Duke is the target.
Talk about intense. Joerg Yu is on Eddie's bumper. We're in for a treat as they approach hotel.
I remember being in a similar situation during my racing days. Joerg Yu must stay focused and wait for the perfect opportunity to overtake.
Tyre degradation's a right pain in the ass, but Superman's handling it like a champ. Getting real up close and personal with Megasaurus 55, aren't they?
This is where the race gets really exciting. Both drivers will be pushing to the limit to gain the advantage.
Whoa, Superman's on fire, leaving skid marks and Megasaurus 55's hopes behind.
Absolutely, Rob, but there's still a long way to go in this race, and Superman can't afford to get...
Sorry to interrupt here, but looks like Simon Barnes forgot they weren't at Bondi Beach, taking a dive like that. Lars wants to find a way round Mr. Bang.
I might have said this before, but dog, bone, you know the rest.
Buckle up. Joerg Yu is all over Puppy Dog from hell like a cheap suit. Are we about to see some wheel-to-wheel action? A twist in our tale. Joerg Yu's slipping more than a bar of soap in a bath, now at 13th.
Hold the horses. Looks like Joerg Yu's decided to give the rest a fighting chance, slidden down a tad.
Sorry to cut in here. Joerg Yu has pulled into the pits. Phew, talk about foreplay. Lars and Mr. Bang are really teasing us here. I haven't seen this much anticipation since my first date. Not much room to breathe for Andreas Dittmann with Eddie G trailing so close. I reckon we'll see a move soon, especially at Hasseröder. This is where the true champions shine, and Rob is certainly showing their class in the final sector. The leader has done it. What an incredible performance from Rob Keane, who was simply untouchable today. This is a race that will go down in the history books. D-Max end in 16th. Superman never gave up. They drove with heart and determination, ultimately securing a well-deserved second-place finish.
Brilliant. Superman showed great skill and determination to take second place.
Well done to Megasaurus 55 for securing third place on the podium. In 4th, 5th, 6th, and 15th, it's Richard Rossier, Sunoiler, Jack M. Team, and Simon Barnes. Coming in 7th and 8th, we have Mr. Bang and Lars. Andreas Dittmann, Eddie G, and Puppy Dog from Hell in 9th, 10th, and 11th. Taking 12th is Wayne Pearson. Seventeenth sees maybe today Satan. Thirteenth is Chris Il-Duke. You've joined us on a breezy day here at Oschersleben Moto, as we're getting ready to kick things off.
The drivers are looking focused out there on the grid. I'm excited for this one, Rob.
Eddie G has got the inside track starting from pole position. We're seeing Andreas Dittmann in the second spot. We see Lars sitting in the third spot. Starting from the fourth position on the grid, we have Mr. Bang,
putting that Audi TT Cup into prime position for the race.
It's Jack M Team, sitting comfortably in fourth. And in the fifth position, it's none other than Suneuler. Richard Rossier will be looking to gain ground quickly as they start from sixth on the grid. From the middle of the pack, we have Megasaurus 55 in seventh place on the starting grid. In the middle of the pack, we have Superman starting from the 8th position on the grid. Sitting in 9th is Rob Keane.
Keane is going to show us something special, I'm sure of it.
The 10th starting position belongs to Puppy Dog from Hell, who will be looking to make up ground early on. Wayne Pearson may not be starting from pole, but they're still in with a shot. Starting from 13th on the grid is a bit of a mixed bag for Chris Iljuk.
But they're going to have to be aggressive if they want to make up ground on the leaders.
Joe Ergu has got their work cut out for them starting from 14th on the grid. Simon Barnes is lining up 15th.
Where can Simon Barnes finish today?
They're darting off, tackling the unpredictable first stretch. With cars this close, it's riskier than a route on a freeway.
The drivers will need to be aggressive but also patient. They can't afford to make any mistakes if they want to stay in the running for a podium finish.
It's a delicate balance, Hal, but the best drivers know how to find that balance and make it work to their advantage.
It's going to be an exciting first sector. I can't wait to see how this all plays out.
Now, isn't that a sight? D-Max hanging tight at 16. Maybe they're waiting for everyone else to make their move. Smart as a whip, that one. As the drivers get this race underway, let me give a shout out to the admin team at AssettoCorsaFriends for making this all possible. Heroes one and all. So Simon Barnes has decided to play it cool, eh? Holding on to 15 like a croc with a juicy steak. Just sizing up the competition, I reckon.
No rush, no fuss for Simon Barnes. In the South, we appreciate taking a moment to breathe, and that's just what they're doing at 15. We'll see how things spice up.
The pressure is on whilst the field is bunched. Who can keep their cool and take advantage?
The race isn't won in the first turn, but there have been plenty that have ended their run.
The crowd is on its feet as D-Max chases down maybe today Satan through Zeppelin Curve.
As a former driver, I can tell you there's nothing quite like the adrenaline rush when you're this close to your rival, ready to make your move.
This is what it's all about, folks. Jack M Team is in hot pursuit of Andreas Dittmann, who's just trying to stay ahead. Great driving from Mr. Bang, who has just gained a place and moved up to 4th. Look at that. They're trading places in every turn, a constant game of cat and mouse. Each driver knows one mistake could cost them dearly.
I couldn't agree more, Rob. The proximity of these cars is incredible. The precision and trust these drivers have in each other is truly remarkable.
Things are getting spicy as Megasaurus 55 is breathing down Suneuler's neck. The gap? Mate, you couldn't slide a credit card between them.
That's right, Rob. The pressure is palpable. The fans are on the edge of their seats, waiting to see who will come out on top in this epic showdown.
It's a nail-biting showdown between these three drivers. They're nose to tail, pushing their limits in every corner.
Absolutely, Rob. The slipstream plays a crucial role in these battles. The drivers are using every trick in the book to gain an advantage while constantly evaluating when to make their move.
We got a close battle as Megasaurus 55 closes in on Jorg Yu.
That's right, Megasaurus 55 is determined to pass Jorg Yu and secure a higher position.
Mate, Jorg Yu's right up, stop the press. Well, crikey. Rob's taken a detour just like I did when I tried to change my car's oil. Ended up with a flooded garage. This is what racing is all about. Two fierce competitors pushing each other to the limit.
When I was racing, we had a saying, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. Richard Rosier is definitely living on the edge today.
Looks like Richard Rossier's letting others have their 15 seconds of fame. Now strolling at 7th. A strategic misstep perhaps? Richard Rossier's place has shifted to 11th. The plot thickens. It's a close race between Rob and Superman in 6th. Blimey, Jorg Yu is sticking to Chrysil Duke like a kangaroo to her Joey. At this rate, they'll be side by side as they hit triple. I reckon they've had a few secret lessons down under. Jorg Yu's just breezed into 8th.
Shoot, Jorg Yu's got more moves than a dance floor on a Saturday night. Look at them shimmy into 8th.
The intensity is off the charts as Richard Rossier hounds Mr. Bang, both drivers pushing themselves to the absolute limit.
Honestly, Rob, with this chase, I'm half expecting to see some sneaky dive bombs in the next few laps. Popcorn ready?
Sunoiler has the pedal to the metal chasing Andreas Dittmann. An impressive showing from Sunoiler, who has gained positions and left Andreas Dittmann in the dust. Seems like Jack M team is getting in range of Lars. Megasaurus 55 could be looking for a way up the inside of Mr. Bang.
To achieve anything in this game, you must be prepared to dabble in the boundary of disaster.
No room for error here. Richard Rossier is breathing down the neck of Chrysil Duke, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move.
If Richard Rosier gets any closer to Chrysil Duck, they'll need to start sending out wedding invitations.
The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown? With a move that's swift, I'd say Megasaurus 55's running on high octane, and maybe a bit of Aussie spirit.
That's what we like to see. Megasaurus 55 is really showing their class today.
Coming into McDonald's, the fight for 5th is heating up. Who will be the first to blink? Big gains for Superman as they move up the field, leaving Andreas Dittmann behind. It's a thrilling pursuit as Keane is right behind Andreas Dittmann, keeping the pressure on for 6th place. It's a game of inches now as Lars tails Eddie G closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake.
Lars is so close to Eddie G that if this were a dance floor, they'd be doing the tango.
Hold on to your hats. Rob is gunning for Andreas Dittmann. Reckon we might see some cheeky moves on the next bend?
With the way Rob is stalking Andreas Dittmann, you'd think they're trying to figure out what they had for breakfast this morning.
I swear, Rob's on the prowl, making that leap to 6th look as easy as a Sunday Arvo barbecue.
Well, slap my knee and call it a jamboree. Rob Keane's putting on a masterclass, storming into 6th.
And Megasaurus 55 is having to make that Audi TT Cup as wide as possible to try and keep Richard Rossier behind them.
This is a tight race and Megasaurus 55 is doing a great job of holding them off. It will be interesting to see if Richard Rosier can make a move.
Mr. Bang wants to close that gap with Richard Rossier. It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while. Gee whiz, Megasaurus 55's getting some solid torque out of those corners. They must have figured out the perfect throttle control while trail braking.
Just what Megasaurus 55 needed, like sweet tea on a hot day. Can't let Chris Hill duck out of sight for too long.
The gap between Richard Rossier and Megasaurus 55 is razor thin as they vie for 10th in this nail-biting contest. Disappointing for Richard Rossier, they now find themselves in 12th. Hold on a second, talk about going walkabout on the track. Mr. Bang's off on a little bush adventure at Oschersleben Moto, aren't they?
Dang, Mr. Bang's swerving around like me chasing a sale at the car parts store. Always ends up being a wild ride.
Jack M team wants to get into last slipstream.
There is no room for error in this battle.
The adrenaline is pumping as Rob gets within striking distance of Superman in their race for 5th. It's like watching two predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce.
It's going to be a close one. Megasaurus 55 will have to push hard to create an opportunity.
A great pass for Megasaurus 55 as they pick off other drivers and move up the field. Meanwhile, Chris Hill Duke has lost ground. Sorry to cut in here, now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. Look at Rob Keane trying to close that gap on Superman. Kind of like me trying to get close to a decent Barbie back home.
Barbie? Oh, you mean a barbecue. Yeah, but over here it's like trying to catch the last slice of pizza at a Super Bowl party.
What a move. Rob has moved up to 5th. This race is getting even more intense. The drivers are pushing each other to the limit.
It's like they're playing a game of chicken, but with cars. And the winner gets to take home the checkered flag and bragging rights.
Haha, that's one way to put it. These drivers have to be in top physical and mental shape to compete at this level.
It's like they're training for the Olympics. And like you said, the mental fortitude required to stay focused and alert for the entire race is wild.
I think I need a nap just watching them. It looks like D-Max is all over Simon Barnes. I think they're gonna press him through Bauer Curve and try and press for a mistake.
For sure, Rob, that's exactly what I would be doing here, as Simon Barnes is gonna be aware of them riding their bumper.
Talk about pressure. D-Max is caught in the middle, feeling the heat from both and Simon Barnes.
You're absolutely right, Rob. The gaps to the cars ahead and behind act as a measuring stick for DMAX's performance. They'll have to keep a close eye on those gaps to stay in control of their race.
One thing I admire about AssettoCorsaFriends is the sense of community. It's not just about the competition. It's about coming together, sharing knowledge, breaking development. Blimey, Eddie G veered off the track like I veer away from commitment. Maybe they'll come back, unlike my ex. It seems like Sunoiler is struggling. They are not able to maintain their pace.
Can Sunoiler refocus and start putting in the lap times we know they are capable of?
Now, that's what I'm talking about. Rob is proper nipping at Sunoiler's heels. Are they thinking of making a lunge? Only time will tell. Well, blow me down. Sunoiler's lap time just gave Jack M team a cheeky slap on the rear. Bet that left. Stop the press. Oh mate, Chris Hill Duke's impersonating a lost tourist. Did someone forget to tell them it's a race, not a bushwalk? A brilliant maneuver from Eddie G, who has just moved up the field.
Absolutely. Eddie G is really putting on a clinic out there.
Oh no, what's this? Looks like Megasaurus 55 is testing the off-road capabilities of their ride. The action is non-stop as Rob always keen shadows Sunoiler through every twist and turn, determined to claim third. Now isn't this a show? Richard Rossier's gotten the bit between their teeth, and they're reeling in maybe today's Satan. Look at them weave and bob through McDonald's, folks. You can feel the rumble from here. Jack M team's in the thick of it, and they're not letting go. It's a battle of wills, and only the strongest will come out on top.
Yeah, it's like the final lap of the Daytona 500. Pedal to the metal, eyes on the prize, and no room for error. This is what racing's all about.
Blimey, Keen is closing in on Jack M team like they owe them money. This duel is going to light up hotel. Gee whiz, Richard Rossier is breathing down maybe today Satan's neck. Wouldn't want to be in maybe today Satan's rearview mirror right now, it's getting crowded. This is where legends are made. Which driver will rise to the occasion and claim victory?
The slightest mistake from either driver could lead to a meeting with the barriers, and nobody wants an impromptu autograph session with the wall.
Here's some action. Rob's tailgating Jack M. Oh no, what's this? Bloody hell. Simon Barnes just took a quick detour to the outback. Maybe they saw a kangaroo on the track or something. Wow, it's a close race for third. Jack M team is ahead with Rob Keane right on their tail with a gap of only 0.3 seconds. Sunoiler seems to be putting the pressure on Lars. The fans are on the edge of their seats. It doesn't get any closer than this. G'day viewers. If you're breaking development, oh dear, Lars has had an incident.
If Lars is trying to embody my self-esteem during puberty with that swerve, spot on. Just spot on.
This is like the state of origin for Rob, going full tilt, gunning for the top, and not holding back.
And on my end, it's the Super Bowl vibes all over. Inches away from glory, and every move counts. Hold onto your hats, folks. This is racing at its finest.
Things are heating up as Mr. Bang closes in on Chris Iljuk. The gap between them is down to practically nothing. Get ready, folks. With Andreas Dittmann tailing this close to Sunoiler, Triple is about to become a hotspot.
If Andreas Dittmann isn't careful, they might end up turning this high-speed chase into a synchronized spinning routine, and trust me, that's not a crowd pleaser.
Seems like Mr. Bang is getting in range of Chris Iljuk. As they speed through McDonald's, Mr. Bang is relentlessly pursuing Chris Iljuk in a high-stakes battle for position. It's an intense battle for position as Eddie G tries to outmaneuver Wayne Pearson. This is edge-of-your-seat racing. Oh, talk about a tango on tarmac. Mr. Bang is dancing closer and closer to Chris Iljuk. You can feel the tension as they approach Zeppelin Curve. Ripper of a move. Mr. Bang's not just in the race, they're owning it. G'day, 11th.
Amazing stuff. Focus and precision, what it's all about. Did we just witness a gambit?
It seems Mr. Bang is recalibrating, now at 12th. The chase music's playing in Wayne Pearson's head as they reel in Mr. Bang, moment by nail-biting moment.
Wayne Pearson's got that car dialed in tighter than my grandma's corset. If Mr. Bang isn't careful, he's gonna get a taste of some good old American hustle.
Whoa there. Mr. Bang is sticking to Chris Iljuk like glue. You reckon Chris Iljuke's feeling the pressure? 'Cause I sure would.
The chase between Mr. Bang and Chris Iljuk is like a high-speed game of tag only. The stakes are much higher.
Someone should tell Chris Iljuk this ain't a Sunday drive. Mr. Bang's tearing up the track. So, when you were racing, ever have to do the old nature call dash during a red flag?
Haha, you mean a pit stop for the driver and not the car? Once or twice. You learn to time your drinks, and hope for a long caution. Doesn't always work out though.
Buckle up. Sunoiler is all over Joe Ergu like a cheap suit. Are we about to see some wheel-to-wheel action?
And the drivers know it too, Rob. They're giving it everything they've got, and you can see them pushing the limits of the car's capabilities.
Things are getting spicy as Wayne Pearson is breathing down Chris Ilduke's neck. The gap? Mate, you couldn't slide a credit card between them. It's like David versus Goliath out there. Wayne Pearson just slung a stone and gained ground, while Chris Ilduke is left searching for footing. Lars could be looking for a way up the inside of Megasaurus 55.
Can they make it past without taking the paint off?
We got a close battle as Eddie G closes in on Wayne Pearson. Alright, hold your horses. Sunoiler is really putting the heat on Joe Ergu. If I were Joe Ergu, I'd be checking those mirrors non-stop.
Should things go awry, Sunoiler and Yorgu might find themselves giving a whole new meaning to the term tandem drifting, though I doubt they'd enjoy it as much as the spectators.
Oi, Sunoiler, no time for a smoko break. Joe Ergu's tearing up the track like it's the end of the world. Eddie G is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a tightrope between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely, it's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play. It's a game of strategy now as Eddie G hunts down Wayne Pearson. Yes, it's all about choosing the right moments to push and when to conserve energy, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike.
Sunoiler wants to close that gap with Joe Ergu. Hold on to your hats, folks. Richard Rossier is right on the heels of Lars, and we're in for a wild ride. On the final lap now, and Keen looks like they might just wrap up this win. And it's a checkered flag for Rob, who crosses the finish line with a commanding victory. What a phenomenal performance, absolutely dominant today.
What a result for Rob Keane. They'll be absolutely thrilled with that performance, and rightly so. They really put in the work and it's paid off in spades.
What a drive from Superman, securing a great second place finish. What a race from Jack M Team. They kept their cool and secured a well-earned third place on the podium.
What a drive, well-deserved spot on the podium with that performance.
Joe Ergu, Andreas Dittmann, Megasaurus 55, and Lars take 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. With Richard Rossier, and maybe today Satan in 8th and 9th. Wayne Pearson and Eddie G brings home 10th and 11th. Chris Ilduke end in 12th. Finishing 13th is Puppy Dog from Hell. Coming in 14th, we have D-Max. Taking 15th is Mr. Bang. Followed by Simon Barnes in 16th.